Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Subga Kaul with the Midday News. The headlines. President Ramnath Kovind honors Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 awardees at the Swachh Amrit Mahotsav in New Delhi. Chhattisgarh becomes cleanest state, Indore bags cleanest city award for the fifth time in a row, and Varanasi adjudged as cleanest Ganga town. Prime Minister participates in annual DGPs and IGPs conference in Lucknow. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to discuss issues related to development and growth at India's maiden International Financial Services Centre at Gift City today. More than 115 crore 79 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.29%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 28th of this month. 52nd International Film Festival of India to begin in Goa this evening. And in cricket, third and final T20 match to be played between India and New Zealand in Kolkata tomorrow. In badminton, PV Sindhu goes down to Akane Yamaguchi of Japan in the semi-final of Indonesia Masters Tournament 2021 in Bali. In men's section, Kidambi Srikanth and Anders Antonsen of Denmark to play semi-final match later in the day. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. President Ramnath Kovind has said that the biggest success of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is the change in the thinking of the countrymen. Addressing Swachh Amrit Mahotsav in New Delhi today, Mr. Kovind said today people can witness that this change has happened on a very wide scale and has reached families. He congratulated the people of the country as there has been a massive change in thought process towards cleanliness. Quoting Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi, Mr. Kovind said that the cleanliness should be the top priority. He said this vision of Gandhiji was taken forward by Prime Minister Narendra Modi through Swachh Bharat mission as a mass movement. He said making the country clean is the best tribute to the freedom fighters who fought for India's independence. The President said this year's Swachh Sarvekshan Awards have special significance as the nation is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
मुझे यह जानकर प्रसन्नता हुई कि 35 राज्य और संघ राज्य क्षेत्र तथा लगभग सभी शहरी क्षेत्र खुले में शौच से मुक्त घोषित किए जा चुके हैं। समुचित व पर्याप्त वेस्ट वाटर के ट्रीटमेंट की व्यवस्था के आधार पर 9 शहरी क्षेत्रों को वाटर प्लस प्रमाणित किया जा चुका है। मैं आशा करता हूं कि इस क्षेत्र में शीघ्र ही उल्लेखनीय प्रगति प्राप्त की जा सकेगी।
He expressed happiness that the award was given taking feedback of over 5 crore people and through public participation. On the occasion, the President awarded Indore as India's cleanest city for the 5th time in a row. Surat and Vijayawada were given the 2nd and 3rd Best Clean City Award. Chhattisgarh was given the Cleanest State Award. Jharkhand was given the 2nd Best Clean State Award. Varanasi was given the award for Cleanest Ganga Town. Speaking on the occasion, Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said Prime Minister Narendra Modi had flagged off Swachh Bharat mission from the ramparts of Red Fort on the 15th of August 2014, and since then the government has gone beyond the mission mandate to create more than 3,300 ODF plus cities with hygienic community and public toilets and nearly 1,000 cities ODF plus with complete fecal sludge management. The minister said municipal solid waste processing has gone nearly fourfold from 18% in 2014 to 70% today. He said nearly 1 lakh rag pickers have been integrated into the waste management chain in the cities, and more than 5.5 lakh sanitary workers have been provided access to various government welfare schemes. Mr. Puri said Swachh Bharat mission has taken the shape of a people's movement.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is attending the 56th Conference of Director Generals of Police DGP and Inspector Generals of Police IGP at Police Headquarters in Lucknow today. He reached the state capital yesterday evening and will also attend all sessions of the conference. The conference was inaugurated by Union Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday. Inaugurating the conference, the Home Minister appreciated the role played by security forces during COVID pandemic and for the sacrifices made by them. The Home Minister stressed the need for better coordination between the state police and other central agencies and urged the delegates for timely implementation of suggestions discussed during the conference. He emphasized on the need to focus on security-related issues, including coastal security, left-wing extremism, narcotics trafficking, cybercrime and border area management.
The conference is being held in hybrid format. DGPs of states and union territories and heads of central armed police forces and central police organizations are attending the conference physically at the venue in Lucknow, while the remaining invitees are participating virtually from 37 different locations at IB and SIB headquarters. The conference will discuss a wide range of issues including cybercrime, data governance, counter-terrorism challenges, left-wing extremism, emerging trends in narcotic trafficking and prison reforms among others. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman is on a day-long visit to Gift City at Gandhinagar in Gujarat. She is scheduled to discuss issues related to development and growth at India's maiden International Financial Services Centre IFSC at Gift City today. The discussions are likely to be focused on the role of GIFT IFSC as gateway to global financial services for Indian corporates. Ms. Sitharaman is leading the team of senior officials of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. She will also interact with the capital markets entities and banking and insurance entities located at Gift City later today.
Rural Housing Scheme Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin PMAYG today completed 5 years. Ministry of Rural Development along with states and UTs have undertaken various activities like Bhumi Pujan, Griha Pravesh, visit of beneficiaries to demonstration houses and sensitization of beneficiaries about PMAYG to celebrate Awas Divas. To achieve the objective of providing housing to all by 2022, the centre rolled out the revamped Rural Housing Scheme PMAYG, was launched on the 20th of November 2016. The program envisages the completion of 2.95 crore PMAYG houses with all basic amenities by 2022. The Rural Development Ministry said the total release made to the states and UTs in financial year 2021-22 under the PMAYG scheme is over 7,775 crore rupees. More than 115 crore 79 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 51 lakh 59,000 doses were administered yesterday. India reported over 10,000 new cases during the last 24 hours. The country's active caseload stands at 1,24,868. The ministry said the recovery rate is currently at 98.29% and it is the highest since March last year. Over 11,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours, while 267 deaths were reported in the same period.
The Health Ministry has said that more than 129 crore 90 lakh vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. It said that more than 21 crore 65 lakh balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories to be administered. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Union Territory Administration yesterday reviewed the preventive efforts of district administrations against surge in COVID-19 cases. Our correspondent reports that during the series of meetings of COVID Task Force, a comprehensive review was taken to assess the public health response system being implemented by the administrations at district level. The district administrations were directed to adopt systematic and innovative means for effective clinical management measures in a planned manner.
The Tamil Nadu government has notified and invoked the Tamil Nadu Public Health Act 1939 to prevent the spread of infection from infected persons to other persons. The state government notified the act to ensure that everyone who is visiting a public place should be vaccinated against COVID-19. According to the notification, every citizen has to follow COVID-appropriate behavior such as maintaining physical distance, wearing face masks, hand washing and avoiding crowds. It also states that the Director of Public Health and Preventive Medicine has the power to make vaccination and preventive vaccinations compulsory. The Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences has transferred the technology of Ayush 64 to 46 companies. Ayush 64 is an effective drug in mild and asymptomatic and mild to moderate cases of COVID-19. Ministry of Ayush in a statement said that before the first wave of COVID, 7 companies including IMPCL, the manufacturing unit of the Ministry of Ayush, were responsible for manufacturing Ayush 64. It said now the technology has been transferred to 39 companies, taking this figure to 46. This move will lead to an increase in its production and will also make it easier to meet its demand. Till date, no case of side effects for this medicine has been reported, yet experts suggest taking it only after consulting the doctors.
Dr. Sanjeev Kumar of AIIMS Patna has said that people coming in contact with COVID patients should take certain precautions and follow COVID protocol guidelines. He said this while participating in AIR's bilingual live phone-in program Corona Jagrukta series last night.
देखिए, अगर कोरोना संक्रमित हैं तो उनके परिवार वाले और उनके सगे संबंधी जो उनके निकटता में आते हैं, जैसे कि अस्पताल ले जाते हैं, तो बिल्कुल बात वही है कि उन लोगों को उस मरीज की सेवा तो करनी ही है, लेकिन अपना जो बचाव के तरीके जैसे मास्क लगाना, सैनिटाइजेशन करना और उस मरीज के बहुत नजदीक में नहीं आना, खासकर उसके चेहरे के नजदीक, क्योंकि श्वास नली से ही ये फैलता है। अगर कोई कोरोना मरीज को ले जाने वाला एम्बुलेंस नहीं है तो मेरी सलाह ये है कि आप पीपीई किट मंगवा लें और मरीज को छूने से पहले उन पीपीई किट पहन लें।
The Centre for Cellular and Molecular Platforms, C-CAMP in Bengaluru, has launched the India Antimicrobial Resistance Hub to combat antimicrobial resistance, termed as the silent pandemic. Antimicrobial resistance, AMR, is identified by the World Health Organization as one of the top 10 global healthcare threats. Out of 10 million deaths across the world, around 2.5 million deaths due to antimicrobial resistance are in India. More from our correspondent.
Antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, is caused due to misuse of antimicrobials, lack of clean water and sanitation, and lack of public awareness about microbial infections. C-CAMP is India's unique global multi-stakeholder platform that has come forward to counter antimicrobial resistance, which is world's biggest healthcare challenge. Various national and international institutions from public health organizations have come together with ICMR, Department of Biotechnology, and ICAR to devise interventions to prevent the disease. The director of C-CAMP, Dr. Taslim Arif Saeed, has said that the global platform driven by C-CAMP will collectively fight the health challenge posed by AMR. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Ram Nath Kovind honors Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 awardees at the Swachh Amrit Mahotsav in New Delhi. Chhattisgarh becomes cleanest state, Indore bags cleanest city award for the 5th time in a row, and Varanasi adjudged as cleanest Ganga town. Prime Minister participates in annual DGP's and IGP's conference in Lucknow. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to discuss issues related to development and growth at India's maiden International Financial Services Centre at Gift City today. More than 115 crore 79 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.29%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on 28th of this month. 52nd International Film Festival of India to begin in Goa this evening. In cricket, third and final T20 match to be played between India and New Zealand in Kolkata tomorrow. And in badminton, PV Sindhu goes down to Akane Yamaguchi of Japan in the semi-final of Indonesia Masters Tournament 2021 in Bali. In men's section, Kidambi Srikanth and Anders Antonsen of Denmark to play semi-final match later in the day. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 28th of this month. It will be the 83rd episode of the monthly radio program. The Prime Minister has invited people to share their ideas for this month's episode. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he wants to hear from people on possible themes and topics for this month's Mann Ki Baat. He urged people to share insights on MyGov, the Namo app, or record their message. People can dial the toll-free number 1800117800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. The phone lines will remain open till the 26th of November. Some of the recorded messages may become part of the broadcast. People can also give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari informed through a series of tweets the approval of works on significant national highways and roads worth about 3,900 crore rupees in the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and the neighbouring state of Punjab, including the construction of Akhnoor-Poonch Road on National Highway 144A. Our correspondent reports that the new works will give a major boost to road infrastructure in the UTs of J&K and Ladakh, besides the state of Punjab.
The Minister of Coal and Mines, Prahlad Joshi, will address the National Conclave on Mines and Minerals in New Delhi on Tuesday. Various stakeholders of the mining sector from across the country will participate in the conclave and hold strategic discussions on key issues and opportunities in the mining sector to bring in higher growth and facilitate the ease of doing business. The 5th National Conclave on Mines and Minerals will have many significant segments that will encourage exploration activities, auction regime and sustainable mining practices in the country. Award ceremony for 5-star rated mines for noteworthy performance will be another highlight for the one-day conclave. Welcoming the decision of the central government to repeal the 3 farm laws, Haryana Deputy Chief Minister has thanked the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said that he will talk to the centre to withdraw the cases registered in Haryana and Delhi and against those who are not involved in any heinous crime during this agitation. Mr. Dushyant Chautala said that the Prime Minister has taken a valuable decision in view of ongoing agitation of farmers, and this is a victory for the struggle of farmers.
The 52nd edition of the International Film Festival of India, IFFI, is all set to begin in Goa today. The opening ceremony promises to be a glittering one with some of the biggest names in Indian cinema flagging off the cinematic gala. More in this report.
The opening ceremony will be anchored by filmmaker Karan Johar and actor Manish Paul. Actors Salman Khan, Ritesh and Janelia Deshmukh, Moni Roy, Shraddha Kapoor and Ranveer Singh are expected to dazzle the audience with their performances. The first ever Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award this year will be given to acclaimed Hungarian film director István Szabó and American filmmaker actor Martin Scorsese. The opening ceremony will be followed by the opening film The King of All the World, directed by Carlos Saura. This will also be the film's international premiere. Another highlight of this year's IFFI is that 75 of the brightest young cinematic minds from across India will be participating in the 75 Creative Minds of Tomorrow competition. The competition, which is being held under the aegis of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebrating 75 years of India's independence, will be flagged off with an inaugural ceremony tomorrow. This is Pawan for All India Radio News, Panaji, Goa.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
To commemorate the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news and will continue till 15th August 2022. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
On 20th November 1902, Gandhiji went back to South Africa at the request of the Indian community and revived the fight against anti-Asian laws. One such legislation, Asiatic Law Amendment Act, forced the Indians in the Transvaal province to get registered with the Registrar of Asiatics, submit to physical examinations, provide fingerprints, and carry a registration certificate at all times. Otherwise, Indians and other Asiatics, as they were called, could be fined, imprisoned, or deported.
It came to be known as Black Act. When the certificate offices opened on July the 1st, 1907, registers picketed outside the offices and dissuaded passing Indians from registering. They gathered support for non-cooperation in temples, mosques and churches. Initially known as the Passive Resistance Campaign, Gandhiji coined the term Satyagraha as an alternative name. At the closing of registration, only 511 out of the 13,000 Indians in the region had registered.
In January 1908, Gandhiji was arrested. The jails were filling rapidly with satyagrahis refusing to register. Later that month, military leader General J.C. Smuts was forced to negotiate. With Gandhiji and other campaign leaders in prison, General Smuts presented an ultimatum. If Indians would register voluntarily, the Black Act would be repealed and prisoners released. Gandhiji agreed on behalf of the campaign.
After word of the deal spread, some campaigners felt betrayed. In the middle of February, Gandhiji was attacked and injured by a group of angered satyagrahis on his way to the registration office. He reiterated his trust in General Smuts and registered himself. Soon after, Smuts introduced a bill validating the voluntary registrations, but did not keep his word about the Black Act. Gandhiji gave him until August the 16th, 1908 to fulfill his promise and repeal the act.
Gandhiji's leadership was accepted for the next phase in the struggle. The last ultimatum was sent to General Smuts: repeal the Black Act, or registration certificates will be burnt. Ultimately, 2,000 registration certificates were burnt by satyagrahis in a giant fire.
20th of November is also the birth anniversary of the great anti-British warrior and the ruler of the erstwhile kingdom of Mysore, Tipu Sultan. He was born as Sultan Fateh Ali Sahab Tipu in 1750 in Devanahalli, Bengaluru. He was the oldest son of Sultan Hyder Ali of Mysore. Tipu was trained to be a warrior from his early teens, and he accompanied his father on campaigns against rivals such as the British East India Company.
Known as the Tiger of Mysore, he fought several successful wars against the East India Company, starting in 1766 when he participated in a campaign at the age of 15. In 1780, Tipu defeated Colonel Bailey of the East India Company at the Battle of Pollilore. The following year, he seized Chittoor from the British. and in 1782 he defeated Colonel Braithwaite at the Battle of Annagudi near Tanjore.
Tipu was a pioneer in the use of rocket artillery. He deployed the rockets against British forces and their allies in their 1792 and 1799 siege of Srirangapatna and during the other Anglo-Mysore wars. After his defeat in 1799, the British shipped these weapons to Britain to replicate them through reverse engineering. Napoleon, the French commander-in-chief who later became emperor, sought an alliance with Tipu.
Tipu was a believer in international trade and sent trade delegations to Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey and Myanmar. He rationalized the administrative system and encouraged the local industries. He introduced a new coinage, a new calendar and a new land revenue system which initiated the growth of Mysore silk industry. Tipu is also credited with modernization of the army, roads and irrigation system. He built the first road network in Malabar in Kerala. Tipu was killed in May 1799 while defending his fort at Srirangapatna against the British forces. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Moving on, in Andhra Pradesh, 14 people have been reported dead and 28 others missing in flash floods in Vaisar Kadapa district. They were washed away in the gushing waters when the Annamaya Dam breached near Rajampet in Kadapa district yesterday. Most of the victims were passengers of 3 RTC buses caught in the floodwaters on the road down the reservoir zone. 40 passengers have been rescued after a 5-hour-long rescue operation. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, one terrorist was killed in an encounter that broke out between terrorists and security forces in Ashmuji area of South Kashmir's Kulgam district this afternoon. UNICEF Afghanistan has said it will not observe World Children's Day today by keeping all its digital platforms closed in solidarity with Afghan children who are facing challenges related to humanitarian crisis. UNICEF acting representative in Afghanistan, Alice Sakunga, said by doing this, UNICEF wants to send a message to the donors and urge them to support children in Afghanistan.
In cricket, India beat New Zealand by 7 wickets in the second T20 to take unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match series at JSCA International Stadium Complex in Ranchi last night. The third and final T20 match will be played in Kolkata tomorrow. The T20 series will be followed by the 2-match Test series. In badminton, 2-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu lost to Akane Yamaguchi of Japan in the semi-final of Indonesia Masters Tournament 2021 in Bali today. In men's section, former world number 1 Kidambi Srikanth will play his semi-final match later in the day. He faces reigning World Tour Finals champion Andres Antonsen of Denmark this afternoon.
Now let us take a look at today's weather. National capital Delhi has shallow fog today. Maximum and minimum temperature will move between 14 and 26 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have rain or thunder showers towards night. Minimum temperature was 25, maximum expected to be around 34. Chennai is expected to witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain or drizzle today. Temperature will hover between 24 and 26 degrees. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. The city observed minimum temperature of 19 degrees, maximum of around 29 degrees. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Ramnath Kovind honors Swachh Sarvekshan 2021 awardees at the Swachh Amrit Mahotsav in New Delhi. Chhattisgarh becomes cleanest state. Indore bags cleanest city award for the 5th time in a row, and Varanasi adjudged cleanest Ganga town. Prime Minister participates in annual DGPs and IGPs conference in Lucknow. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to discuss issues related to development and growth at India's maiden International Financial Services Centre at Gift City in Gujarat today. More than 115 crore 79 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far, recovery rate at 98.29%. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with people in the country and abroad in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 28th of this month. 52nd International Film Festival of India to begin in Goa this evening. In cricket, third and final T20 match to be played between India and New Zealand in Kolkata tomorrow. In badminton, PV Sindhu goes down to Akane Yamaguchi of Japan in semi-final of Indonesia Masters Tournament 2021 in Bali. And with that, we end the midday news.